Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most others. It'll focus. I don't know why it does that when we first come in only, though. However, I am joined...
I'll just put your noodles in your...
Yeah, I know. I am joined... I'll get really close. I am joined by my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, Olive, and Ari, as we took a week off last week, but we are back.
Sorry.
A couple of minutes before we get started. It's funny because when you say it like that, your name isn't sorry. Ari.
I'm sorry.
A couple of announcements before we get started. We have bits and channel points, 2 different ways that you can support us. This is so weird. Why is this happening? Okay. We're going to just be okay with that for now. Just back. We'll figure it out. It'll fix itself. We have bits and channel points, 2 different ways that you can support the stream. Bits are a microcurrency that is used by Twitch. It's real money, and it is incredibly helpful to us because everything here is paid out of pocket. And there's a lot of stuff like all these Hero Forge minis. I have a whole close-up camera now. Look at that. All those Hero Forge minis, things like that, all the bits really help, and they can actually impact the story right away. When you donate bits, a couple of them can refuel a ship, you can resupply ammunition, a few more might give a little bit more tangible benefits, things like an intern, things like a professional bounty hunter. Although, that being said, at the moment, all of those Mosaic-related rewards are unavailable to the group. But we'll get to that in a second. Oh, man.
I don't really know why. Is it explained in-game why?
Yeah, we fucked up.
We fucked up.
Oh, right.
We fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah.
And people's like, sorry guys, you're gonna go die in a hole now.
Yeah, okay.
A whole akaton.
The whole reason that Peep's attitude that way is you and your write-up of how Yosogi viewed death. So,
Oh.
This is your fault. Specific
Consequences of my actions.
Live fast, die fucking young, bitches!
channel points you can accumulate just through watching. They're free, and you can use those to highlight your messages. You can also use those to change the outcome of some of these story elements of this campaign. The Junk Falls will always be junk. Movement is nearing its completion. It's leaning pretty heavily in one favor. So if you would like to change the outcome, use your channel points soon. That is going to end sometime near the end of February.
I'm gonna have to get a new sign on a stick. It's just
Maybe.
gonna have to be like eats meats.
We'll see. Eats meat stick. I like that. We are at Alberon RPG on all different social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those things. It's much better to see the maps and things like that when they're much closer up. So Instagram at Alberon RPG. We have a website, alberonrpg.com. A lot of information about this campaign, as well as our Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time D&D campaign, Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest, which is tomorrow night. And then finally, for the Western music that you can hopefully hear, as long as much of the other music, we are using Sirenscape, a digital tool set for people who want to play music during their RPG streams. And that is all the announcements that we have. I'm going to get us into our recap, but let me pull up our theme song. Oh, we're going to have a new theme song for Adventures in Alberon soon.
Yay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yay.
I meant it sincerely.
We're just tired.
It's been a long week for everyone.
It's been a long December, but it's actually January.
Now it's February.
Mosaic Team 5, last we played, you dealt with Seljun de May, returning his arms in exchange for a few other things, of which included an Eats Meats community drive van. All of you intended to use this to sneak into town, but first you rested, taking the evening to prepare yourselves aboard your ship hidden in the caves of the Wormtune Wastes. There was an intense moment for Shade and Bubs, where Shade told Bubs that he resents him. However, it seemed as if, towards the end of that interaction, there was some progress at least. As a group, you drove to Perdido, with Echo behind the van, navigating you without too much issue. Spice, you saw elements of your past everywhere that you looked, but mostly as you entered in through the town, you saw Julian's younger sister, more grown up, behind the bar of a vastly changed inn. You met another Echo unit who was working at the Eats Meats depot. A little bit of an older model than you, Echo. However, you got a little bit of a lay of the land from them. You decided to take a little tour of Perdido, breaking off into two groups to cover more ground. Gibbs, Echo, and Spice, you all visited Jazzy Jiff, the liquor store owner who, Gibbs, you quickly discovered was a drug dealer, as you, completely unbeknownst to Gibbs, engaged a drug deal and completed a very successful drug interaction.
A very successful drug interaction. Let me put that in my resume.
You came away with a lot more drugs than I intended for you to leave with. So.
It was a lot of money.
Meanwhile, Bubs and a particularly quiet Shade made their way downtown, walking fast, and that is where we begin this evening.
Come on now.
Give me one moment here. Okay. So, Shade, Bubs, the two of you make your way through these very dusty streets on the planet of Akaton. You're in the city of Perdido, and all around you, you can see these adobe clay structures with crenellations of brick that poke out, elements of Gothic architecture that rise up into the ceilings but disappear into the ground below. There are a few people out. It's right around noon, actually, and so relatively hot. It is Friday here in Perdido, and the two of you are headed, I believe, towards Legs.
Wherever you
What's
want
this
to go.
one? The starting
rephrase
at
it.
Papa Muertes, working our way up the from the south to the
I believe that's the
northwest
convenience store,
side.
correct?
Papa Muertes?
Yes.
No,
It's let me check my notes.
So you, with the map, you do know there's several places. I would say, Bubs, give me a culture check, actually. You might not. There's elements of language here that you've seen before. Certainly in old literature and old earth items.
Oh, there's a natural 20.
nice.
Hey, your first
What a
roll of
good-
the game.
yeah.
I love that.
Steal this bounty hunter from your past. Or not bounty hunter, this
Mentor
cop.
police for
Hard-boiled detective.
He had a particular fondness for old earth films, and one of his favorite genres was westerns.
Yep.
And so there are elements of Spanish all over Perdido. Perdido, in fact, itself meaning lost. And in fact, thinking about that, you would imagine many of these places. You had heard about other places that Eats Meats had been. Perdido is lost. Olvidido is forgotten. And the other one is not Spanish, as far as you could tell.
As a
Mer-
mesh.
Mercado is a word that means market in Spanish. And so you would imagine anything with mercado probably related to markets.
We're going to Daddy Dead.
You are going to Papa Muertes, which does translate to
I
father
remember that
death.
from my high school Spanish.
As you approach, you can see parked out front, there are three currently elongated compared to the ones that you've used, hover cycles. These have these long, swept forward dual sway bars that would connect to a wheel in what we would call like a Harley. But this is very much a hover variant. And you can see there are three of them, roughly the same, although various bits of aftermarket added to it. This is a biker bar. You can see above it, there is a neon sign of a sugar skull that brings a drink to and from as it like kind of flickers in the sun. But certainly a biker bar.
This was not one that we were told the governor frequented, right?
Correct.
Okay. Probably Shade wants to get something to be a little more incognito.
Okay.
And then would take the logical route of reconnaissance, with the blue locations being high priority and green locations being on the route but not as relevant to the mission.
Okay. So you walk by that. That's Papa Muertes. Where's the next place that you're going?
The next place would be walking along to the wall of the
Are you gonna buy your
GPF
disguise?
outpost, but not going in, just kind of, circling the perimeter.
Where are you going to buy your disguise?
I think I was going to say,
Naruto?
no, Papa Muertes is a bar. You just said that.
Oh, no, sorry.
No,
I
it would
didn't mean
be,
that. I meant
we're going past Carry Iron and Warmonger Industries. those places seemed like they
Yeah.
might have
I meant,
some sort of poncho. Or
So
something.
from Papa Muertes and moving along the exterior of the wall until you get to this compound, you can see at one point this was probably a factory of some kind, but surrounded by an 18-foot tall fence built from steel. And you can see these are very much like these steel pillars planted. And then from each individual pillar, there are sections of what looks like plasma passing through, like laser fences, essentially. The primary building is very much like an old factory, and you can actually see, I would say, faded in the sun, something that says Perdido Mining Smeltery across the front, although very faded, almost like it was scraped away. This is 4 stories tall and dominated by many smokestacks, although you don't see any smoke rising from it. The red clay bricks have long ago been soot-stained, and so you can see elements where maybe chips have formed, where it almost is speckled bright red. There are newer laser-hardened windows tinted against the sun and against onlookers that you can see have been implemented here. This is a little bit more hardened than it was probably as a factory. There's a large tarmac that currently houses 4 fighters of some kind and a shuttle.
Would my cultures check be able to tell what kind of fighters they are?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a cultures check. There's a central air control tower that also features what looks like an armored, almost crow's nest, although enclosed, with a computer-assisted searchlight that during the day currently is off.
As Shade is doing that, Bob is going to remember what he saw earlier this morning.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It was a dirty 20 minus 5 to the DC.
Okay. So yeah, no problem. These are called Heart Spike Fighters. These are drow in design. From a, I think it's called Pain-like Industries, but actually, I have them right.
What was the corporation called? Pain?
Give me a second here.
Drow are
No,
so
no,
edgy.
Drow are very edgy. I love them.
I'll find it for you. I think it's
Yeah.
Pain. It's like Pain, Leicht. Pain-leicht.
Oh,
But
Germanic.
yeah. They're heart spike fighters. They look like they have this central long cockpit, and then they have 2 wings that come into points, both forward and backwards. And you can see there's elements along the side that suggest that the cockpit itself can almost swivel. And this is probably a very maneuverable fighter.
Okay.
The shuttle itself, very similar to the Bad Day. Not the same shuttle, but same model. And so this is certainly all GPF craft. You also see this place swarming with GPF. With that cultures check and a little bit of knowledge about how, fighter wings work, you see 4 of these fighters out here. So there's probably at least 10 pilots, and kind of expanding on that, there's probably hundreds of people in this base. Certainly several companies.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Shade, I forgot to tell you, I think I saw some of these fighters earlier this morning patrolling.
Where?
When we were in the entrance of the Wormtune area, I remember.
Tune wastes.
Yeah, when I was outside alone smoking a cigarette, watching the sunrise, I saw them. It looked like they were patrolling or something.
So Bubs tells you this.
We should find a way to become more incognito. They may be already suspicious.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could probably go to like a store or something. I was hoping also maybe to buy cigarettes so I could stop bumming them off of you.
Walking.
Fair enough. So as the 2 of you continue your kind of window shopping trip, the 3 of you are heading off to the Soki compound.
So we're in an alley, and we just gotten spotted by the GPF people, and so in this kind of quiet alley.
Is it
Alley.
GPS
Alley.
being spotted?
I-
I didn't know.
Well, they spotted a naked
previous.
Yosoki.
Previously,
That was the
before they
interaction.
got to Jazzy GIFs, the reason that they deviated from their
Yeah.
original path was because naked Yosoki.
Yeah.
And so I think real hard, and I look at Spice, who's been a mute Kasatha, and I look at Echo, who is less less mute but quieter android, and I think, God damn it, I have to be the face of this. And I go, you're right. I take out my t-shirt, my junk files will always be junk t-shirt, and I put it on, and I turn to Spice, and I hold your real hands. And I go, I know we're going into this compound because you need armor. And I know we have to lay low, so let me give you the best protection I can. And I cast the spell to transfer my dirt to her.
Okay. So,
When people are disgusted by you, they won't look closer.
Okay.
so as Gibbs touches you, it's almost like Gibbs gets a little bit cleaner. You can see the fur begin to lift away from the body, not quite as slickened with oil. And at the same time, it's almost like, you know that feeling when you first get out of the shower and you're like fresh and clean?
Yeah.
It's like somebody slammed the rewind button on that and you just get popped out dirty instead. And it's like a very unpleasant experience. You get greasier instantly. You can feel stuff under your nails. Suddenly your mouth it tastes like you just woke up. It's like not a pleasant experience. Your hair gets a little bit heavier and you certainly are dirtier.
Spice is going to take a swig of her cantina with the Lashunta whiskey in it, and then go, well, it turns out this this Lashunta whiskey makes my voice lower.
We can do this. And I, now not naked, confidently stride out into the street towards the Ruby Eyes compound.
You're wearing it?
And I'm wearing my just junk balls, will always be junk t-shirt, but
I'm going in there to find Ruby Tuesday and kill that rat.
I
So
swivel
inconspicuously,
around.
you walk out, the Kasatha speaking in a very low voice. A Yosoki dressed in a t-shirt and a, as you said, quiet android.
Slow blink.
You step out into the sun. It hits you pretty hard. The dust almost seems to come up with the sun, like it evaporates and gets into your lungs. But here on the street, you can see, like, almost to the left and then wrapped a little behind, you know, that GPF patrol, probably still stationed, maybe 120 feet away. But if you wish, you can continue to travel west and head. It's kind of like an L shape that you need to travel to get to the Ruby Eyes compound, or if there's a different destination, you are welcome to go.
My thought is just to walk in, see if my cousin kin are friendly.
Yeah, I like that idea. I
All
think
right.
it works fine.
It didn't work with Bastion, but we'll see if it works now.
I think it
Please
would
keep
be
in
good.
mind that Seljundame did say that the Ruby Eyes clan was a bit isolationist. They may not appreciate outsiders, regardless of race.
Maybe.
Well, if we're going in, maybe we buy something from them.
That is actually not a bad idea.
Because they are in competition with Seljun, so.
Yeah. Good idea. All right.
Okay.
And
Good
I
problem.
put on my best Yosoki face.
Okay. It's already on. You make your way. And without too much trouble, you find this this compound. The Ruby Eyes, Gibbs, as you approach, the place that you see reminds you so much of how your home used to be, in ways. This place, you can see already just beyond the walls, through the little gaps in the chain link fence and slabs of wood and elements, you can see, like, there is a park bench that has been broken in half and then stuck vertically into the ground. It's like a huge garbage fence that rings what is a junkyard. You can see just heaps of trash.
This reminds me of home.
The interior is entirely cluttered with junk, this little courtyard. You see a single structure, which is a 30 by 50 clay brick, essentially, that just sits in the sun. You can see there's a large door that is always open, more of a door frame than a door. And a skylight that seems to take up most of that building's roof, essentially. You can see there is a tent in the back, although it at one point was a hot air balloon and has since been like stretched out over a wooden framework. And there seems to be a number of Yosoki that are working there, and they're kind of at the back of the compound where with the slope of the earth you can see, but you can't see too much that's close to you. You do, however, see that their entryway is a large door with a single metal slat rather, that whirs aside. You can see like a little, where you put your window down. It's almost like that, but a metal version, and you have to grab it and like crank it, and it will pull this little metal thing aside, presumably to talk to somebody.
Retro.
Nice. And that's on the outside, that
Yeah.
handle. All right, so I'll walk up to it, and I'll go, yoo-hoo, and I'll crank it.
Okay. So you grab onto this handle, and little by little, it kind of moves, and it gets like a little rusted almost, and like kind of stuck. But before you get it halfway, you can hear from behind the door this thing, and a little Yusoki hand pops out and just shoves the whole thing in. And you can see this other Yusoki who, 1 second here, put all my descriptions in weird places. You can see this other Yusoki, almost blood red eyes. I'm thinking about ruby eyes. That does track. You can see the fur almost immaculate white, similar to Peeps in ways, but almost more so. Where they are, you can see there's like this little stretch of canopy that goes from the entryway over and probably providing a good bit of shade. And you can see the eyes looks beyond you. There's little bits of, little flecks of blood, probably not sleeping very well as this Yusoki. But she still kind of brightens up seeing you and goes, "Oh, hey there."
Hey, I'm new to town, and I just thought I'd say hi, really.
"Oh, well, hi. Can Clan Ruby Eyes help y'all today, or?"
Well, I came all the way out here, and I hated to turn around empty-handed, so I thought I would just say hi. I'm, Delilah, and I'm from I'm from Petrus 4, and I'm from the Scab Rats, and, I came here originally, looking for something that I don't think is here anymore, and so I was hoping maybe for a little history and maybe a hot meal.
She kind of looks and goes, "Oh, universe love y'all, but Clan Ruby Eyes is currently not taking visitors at this time, unless you happen to be selling drilling equipment. But have a blessed day."
We're not selling, but we might be buying if you are selling something else.
The little slot kind of creaks open. Make a diplomacy check.
Also,
Grifter?
I guess Grifter would help me here, probably. Let me look at my page. You're right, it would. Oh, yeah, because I am initiating myself into a 14. And this is diplomacy. Plus
Yes.
10, so that's 24 plus 1 for Grifter.
25.
Oh, wait, no, I reduced the DC.
By 5.
Yeah, I reduced the DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And so what was the total of yours?
24.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. So you can see she looks at you and she just goes, "We're really just buying, but and the eyes flick down and you can see you're wearing this Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk t-shirt. And she goes, "You said Petrus 4?
I did. The Scab Rats. Have you heard of us?
I haven't heard of the Scab Rats, but that's that whole Rat King business?"
Yeah, and I turn around, do a 360 so she can see my bottles, and I, wink at her. And I'm like, yeah.
Spice will also pull up her drill with bits that she got at the Terra Matter lab and go, "Like this?"
You can see the face recoils a little bit from the slot. And then she goes, "Oh, by the universe, sorry, that took me a little bit off guard. You don't sound like any Kasatha I ever heard. But we're looking for something a little bit bigger than that, sweetie. Sorry."
Oh. Never mind. We still want to come in.
What do you know about this Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk movement?
Everything. I'm it.
That's not real conversation I want to have on the street. But I am part of it.
You can see the eyes narrow for a second. They flick back over
And
to
I
the
reach
two
into
people.
my pockets and I pull out a few of the little paraphernalias and I just slide a keychain through the little thing. But I've got a bunch of other things like the fuzzy dice and the knickknacks and a postcard, all sort of and I'm Are you looking to join?
So the little Yosoki hand comes out and takes it, and you can see she kind of takes it a little bit and goes, "This is nice. You can come in."
Oh, she doesn't go alone.
Can I bring one of my friends?
Make a diplomacy check.
15 plus 10,
Plus 7.
25.
One of your friends should be okay.
Thank you.
Which one's it gonna be?
Coin.
I leave it up to Gibbs. Gibbs has brokered this entrance.
You wanna flip a coin?
Life is like a box of chocolates.
This is Ariana not thinking very fast. Yeah, okay, and I'll grab Spice's hand and be like, "You're beefy enough."
Yes, I am.
Well, we're not gonna eat her.
No, I know, but you know, young rats out in the world, all that.
I guess.
For protection.
Are you sure you want to come in? I mean, we're not gonna hurt you.
No, I know.
Echo kind of like leans in a little
Oh.
bit and says,
It is okay. We are trying to spare our Kasatha friends' feelings. They haven't been feeling very useful as of late.
It's true.
It's literally
Make
true.
oh man, make a diplomacy check. That's not deception. That's sad.
Is it not deception?
Because you had a
Bluff.
bad day.
What, is it not bluff?
Yeah, bluff. Sorry.
Thank God. Okay. It's 24.
Okay.
And can I insight as we're stepping in? Is this guy pro junk rats? Junk falls will always be junk, or is he like anti junk falls will always be junk?
Okay. So as the door opens, and you can see she stands aside. She's a little shorter than you, but she stands aside to allow you in, and you can tell like she's kind of leaning on the door so that if Echo tries to get in, she's just gonna try to slam it. But she gestures, "Come on in."
She can try.
26 for my sense motive.
Okay.
This is a slow ass door.
As you like slowly step through, you take a look, and already you can see she has it like clipped onto her. So you can see she's wearing almost like cargo shorts, similar to you, but she has like 8 or 9 keychains that are all just attached to the pocket, and she's like attached that to a bunch of other ones as well.
Nice.
But seems to, as far as you can tell, certainly not anti.
Yeah.
But you enter this compound. Spice, you're going as well.
Yes.
Okay. Echo, are you trying to force your way in?
Nope.
Okay, no problem. So the Kasatha, quote unquote, and the Yosoki make their way in. And Echo, you
As before the door closes, Echo's going to use the telepathic message to message Gibbs, and just be like,
If there is trouble, please don't hesitate to call.
I think back real hard. You got it.
and you can see the Yosoki just kind of leans out before she shuts the door and she says, "Nothing personal. We just have a lot going on here." And the door just shuts.
Echo just kind of like turns around and stands guard and watches, I'm sure, the eponymous like little dust cloud go.
Yeah, no problem. Little tumbleweed goes by. Shade and Bubs.
Yeah.
So, the two of you,
And as we're walking, I think we're probably talking about the.
where are you walking to now?
So from the outpost, which across the street is Warmonger Industries.
Okay.
So as we're walking past those, I want to do like passive recon of them, but I don't want to linger because I don't want us to be
Make a perception
suspicious.
check.
And we're going towards past Harbinger Robotics to also do like passive recon.
Yeah.
To go to Carry Iron, which is the store that we think we could probably find some.
So both of
disguises
you
at.
make perception checks then.
And I imagine we're talking mostly in the group chat on the comms, and I'm letting them know about what we saw about me seeing the Drow ships, us seeing the recent Drow ships in the hangar, and
Okay.
also about how Bubs remembers that Harbinger's Robotics had a kind of a deal making orbital robots for the Drow.
Yep.
And it's kind of weird that they're in Perdido as well.
It's an interesting note. And so,
I would have also
Many
texted
texts.
the information we got from Jazzy Jips.
Okay.
Just so everyone's.
Yep.
It's all there.
so you are all now informed.
Yes.
Crosswise.
Thank
What
you.
was your perception check, Matt?
25.
Okay. Bubs?
One second.
Yeah, 25.
17.
I would have also Echo would have also messaged the other two about the ruby eyes and the drilling equipment.
Okay. Excellent.
Which tracks with the information we got from Seljun. They are building under the city.
Shade is going to smoke a cigarette.
There are 5 GPF warriors outside of Warmonger Industries. You can see there is a drow who is behind a secure booth within the structure itself. They are wearing GPF power armor. This puts them close to 8 feet tall for a normal humanoid figure. You can see the shopkeep has a gelled up mohawk that runs down to a long ponytail that ends about mid-back. This building is sleek. It's brushed steel. It stands out and radiates heat as it brutally reflects the sun. There are no other buildings abutting this, and you can actually see areas where the sand itself is darkened as the heat almost oppressive around this building. The entryway spans all 4 stories, with walkways showing the offices and halls beyond, and you can see through the front face, which is all basically slightly tinted glass, various little, essentially like ballistics laboratories, a lot of testing areas, but the bottom floor is a shop, and that is Warmonger Industries. Continuing on, you make your way over to Carry Iron. What's the next stop?
Yeah, and I think we'd pass by Harbinger, so like another passive looking but not trying to raise any suspicions.
With that look, it's interesting. You almost walk by it because it's tiny. The last place that you saw was this sprawling factory, but this is a kiosk with a roof. You can see sitting in it and kind of leaning against it, and they move just in time so that you can see the Harbinger Robotics logo. Otherwise, you would have walked straight past it. This is another Yosoki. They are kind of like a gray and white fur modeled across the face, and you can see they're wearing gray coveralls with orange accents, almost identical to the coveralls that you saw on Thinmito Arkson back on the Harbinger 4. You can see she is holding a wrench and she is smoking a cigarette. The hair that she has is white and curly, but right now tied back, kind of out of the way. And behind her, you can see there's like a number of pieces of paper like posted to the wall, but no real inventory that you can see. Tiny little kiosk. And I would say with that, as they kind of shift around and you get that 25, beneath the logo it says GPF Support Division parentheses Perdido. But you make your way further and to this shop that is called Carry Iron. So this is this building is old style, like Western film, and so Bubs, as you see this is like right out of a Western, big fake storefront out front to make the building look twice as tall as it really is. But this, it says Carry Iron out front, and it's written in a font that looks like a lasso that's like making all the letters connected.
Nice. There's probably some horse corrals in the front.
Yeah, like fake horse corrals,
yeah.
absolutely. The person behind
Yeah.
the counter, as you pass by, there's 2 big windows on either side of the door, is a Lashunta. And you can see the hair is shaved close around the sides and back of the head, but there are gray streaks on the top that are a little bit longer, almost to kind of cover the antenna almost. This individual is currently polishing or seeming to work on what looks like a legitimate, and I would say you are aware of these companies, Smith & Wesson, like an actual old style frontier weapon, and kind of passing by. This looks like a shop that specializes in creating Western looking modernized weapons.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is it the Lashunta? Can I tell the subtype species, and also if it's a male or a female Lashunta?
This is the same kind of Lashunta that Kasatha.
Karasha.
That Spice is.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And what was the second question?
Which gender?
Male.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's not high.
but sets that weapon down, turns and picks up another one. You guys continue to walk by.
Oh, I think we wanted to.
Yeah, we wanted to go.
Does it seem like they would have something that we could dress ourselves in to go incognito in there?
We've got workman supplies.
Cowboy outfits.
This
This is like
seems
a
to be
certain
almost
time-traveling
like
department.
specialty weapons shop, but you do see there's a number of like, and it's unclear if these are for sale, but there are a number of like, dress forms that have like ponchos, hats.
We're going in.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah,
We're
we're
going.
going.
Sure.
Ponchos and hats and
Throw
dress
the-
forms.
Throw
So
the
you walk
cigarette
in,
on the ground
and you can
walk
see
in.
this
Marty
Lashunta
Fox.
looks up. He takes the shotgun and very carefully, gingerly sets it on the wooden counter, and he looks to both of you and says, "Welcome to Cast Iron." Or sorry, welcome to Carry Iron.
Cast iron pan.
Cast irons up the street.
Cast Iron's my name.
Pans, walks, pots.
Super heavy.
What can I get you?
Hi, how's it going?
Can I get you something?
Well,
We were looking to browse your wares.
We do mostly custom work here. So, you picking something up for somebody, or are you looking to commission something?
What are your prices for small arms and rifles?
I think they're pretty good, but I'm talented. So, it's pretty pricey. About 5% over what you would get it at market. But around here, not a lot of competition for what I have. You want to see?
Sure.
So he pulls out a little data slate.
I do.
Be fine.
I need a weapon, so while we're here.
All my money goes there.
Yes,
Now,
it does.
each of the items that are listed there, as he kind of pulls out the data pad and you touch one, the image of it appears, and you can see each one modeled after a different Western style weapon. You see coach shotguns. You can see old like revolvers with these like ludicrously long and heavy barrels. There's a laser pistol that has like pearl inlay handle, all kinds of things. But he kind of nods and he puts a thumb over the over his shoulder and he says, "Like that shotgun over there, that was a GPF rifle. I bet you couldn't tell from looking at it, but the stuff that I have, pretty good.
Could I tell from looking at it?
Make an engineering check. I'm gonna guess.
21.
No. And so as you look at this,
Good stuff.
even getting a little closer, and he goes, "Oh, hey," and he takes it off the shelf and like puts it in your hands. Holding it, you hear the as it like moves of all the mechanical parts that should be there. It sounds legitimate. And he says, I had to add weight into the actual pieces because the stuff we make is just so light now. It doesn't have the right feel. But it's just so accurate that it's hard to believe that this would fire lasers. You can actually put your fingers into these two rifled barrels.
As he's talking to Shade, could I see if he has like not an inventory list, but like a customer list that maybe he has like on his like table or anything?
Yeah, make a perception check.
And I want to do this like kind of like stealthily.
Yeah.
That is a 16 plus 9, 25.
Okay.
25.
You lean over and look, and what you do see behind this place, this is a very like meticulous place. What I would say is there is a small black bound book that is on the table behind him. You can see over that there is a faded and worn GPF jacket. You can see what looks like maybe like a lunchbox. It is right around noon, and so they probably just ate or are about to eat. But that book probably, it looks like a ledger.
Yeah. I wish he had it open at this moment, but unfortunately he doesn't.
Most people don't leave their ledgers lying open.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we caught him, middle of lunch or something. He might have been preoccupied. I think I'm just going to listen to Shade talk, wishing he had a cigarette at this moment. And they probably don't smell cigarettes here.
I mean, I was just smoking one until we walked in. But
Go ahead. You gonna buy something?
do you do trades?
Not really. I mean, this is pretty high-end stuff. I could, I guess. I mean, what are you looking to trade?
I have a few weapons. I would give in addition to the credits that I have to make a purchase.
Okay, like what?
Take out the basically not the peep pistol or not the peep semi-auto pistol. The
Advanced needler rifle.
Yeah.
Advanced needler rifle.
You're just firing out little marshmallows.
no the laser pistol
Okay.
and the tactical tri-laser.
Okay.
Or
So it's
is
level
that-
3 to level 4.
It's the microfusion rifle
Okay.
and the laser pistol, which are level 1
4 and 1.
and level 4. Yeah.
So he kind of looks down at these things and he says, I mean, I don't really need any of this. I used to be in the GPF. I have contacts there, so I can get better weapons to work on. If you had something more exotic, maybe. But
Take out the carbon steel curve blade. That's all I have left.
That one was cool.
we got like a dozen of those just because. I mean, it's from the Vesk War, and we fought battles here in Perdido, so
Bubs is
I can still find some out in the waste, actually. If you have anything more necrotic, I have people that are looking for things like that, or if you have something that can manipulate gravity, we have people that are looking for those kinds of things.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile there.
Taking my utility. I will purchase your 0 rifle, frostbite class.
Very well. And he goes, and you can see he steps for a moment into it's like a not less of a back room and more of like a walk-in closet. It's very small, very narrow, but steps into the back. And so, Bubs, for a brief moment, this book is unattended.
Mhm.
It is a pretty long reach across the counter. You'd probably have to hop the counter, grab it, and hop back.
I'm trying to look at the ledger to see if there's any information I can get about this bounty.
You hear something unlock. You hear like a drawer open.
No, it's too risky.
A drawer.
Do it.
Now, the thing about this is, and he comes back, and you can see in his hand, what you're seeing is like an old bolt action. It looks almost like a gerund, like
Nice.
old wooden body, polished to a smooth finish. There's a grain to this wood. It's real. Everything about this feels real and Western. But as you kind of turn it and you pull where the bolt would pull back and release the casing, as you pull, there is an area to slot in cells. And you can absolutely use this as it is listed.
Nice.
Bubs mentally thinks about like how he could have taken that action
Mhm.
and how he just doesn't feel like himself because he would have done that before.
Anything
Like
else I can
that.
get you?
Would I be able to give you this laser pistol in exchange for 2 of your display ponchos as well?
Really?
Yes.
Sure. I guess. I get them 6 at a time. He goes over, he steps out from behind this and just pulls off. And as he does, you can see these are like bordering on paper. Like, yes, it's cloth, but like this is like almost like a hospital gown.
Oh,
But he takes them both off and gives each of
Bye-bye,
you
laser
these.
pistol.
better. I don't need it
You
anyway.
both have these paper ponchos.
Ask for the hats. Ask for the hats.
Oh, I figured we'd get the whole outfits.
The hats are like nice, and so
Oh.
you can see he leaves those on the dress forms. One of them is like an actual kind of like similar in ways to like a cowboy hat, except you can see like almost all point forward, definitely for something with like a narrower head than a human. And the other thing is just like a very classic sombrero. But both of those a little bit nicer than the costume that he gave you.
I was expecting everything from the displays.
Oh no. Can I get you anything else?
No, I think
That'll be all, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, if you have any other friends with disposable income, let them know Carrie Iron does good work.
Thank you, we will.
Kind of nods his head. What's your name, anyways? I haven't seen you around here before.
oh, me?
Both of you.
Oh, Danielson.
Daniel, Dan. I'm sorry. You have mean parents.
Yes.
What about you?
I am Leon.
Leon. Well, you can call me Cast Iron Kinkashi. That's what everybody calls me. And he kind of tips his head to you, and if you wish, you can make your way back out into the street. Spice isn't here.
Bubs is gonna
Yeah.
think about things.
You wouldn't happen to know a Lashunta by the name of Emito?
You can see instantly his whole body stiffens up a little bit. The smile stays exactly the same. No idea who that is. It's about lunchtime, friend, so if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to close for a little bit.
Was that tensing like I don't want to,
Make a sense motive check.
like,
Can I also make one?
Yeah.
I'm bristling, or I haven't heard that name in so long, what's going on? Ooh.
I think.
So
I
it's
don't know.
-2 to the DC because of my androidness.
Because we're weird.
I got a
And
17.
I got an 18.
17 and an 18. It's hard, I think, to tell exactly what that was, but what I will say is it wasn't the tensing up out of anger. You see, I would say, which one of you got the 18? Shade, you notice more. The eyes kind of dart to the side. That's more like somebody who's afraid that somebody else would overhear that name. They seem nervous.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kinkashi.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll probably come back at some point.
Yeah, it seemed like you already had kind of a hard time with the prices here. Not meaning to offend or anything, but it's there are some cheaper places you might be able to look. There's a bunch of Yosoki. They've kind of closed off recently, but I think probably in another week or two they'll be willing to trade. Or I don't know, but stuff's kind of expensive, so I wouldn't try back.
Are there good places that you would recommend for lunch?
I just make my own. And he's like around from the counter now, and he kind of has his hand on your shoulder. He's like, I kind of make my own, and he's like walking with you now out the door. But just kind of like puts you out into the sun. You as well, Bubs, Daniel Danielson. And he kind of nods. Well, thank you. Appreciate your business.
Thank you.
And the door just shuts. One of you had a 25 perception check.
Yeah.
You hear just barely from the other side, what the fuck? And they just like walk away. So, you three.
Oh, Miss, I didn't catch your name. Sorry.
Give me 1 second here. Ruby Eyes notes.
Sensei.
So she leads you back into this one big structure. There's just garbage as far as the eye can see. And to most, as you would walk in here, this would be an overwhelming stench. But for you, it is very nostalgic. You can smell the deep banana-like scent of like fruit peels beginning to ferment in the sun. But they lead you past all this and past this junk. You can see off in the side of the building, there's this hot air balloon tent. And there are 3 Yosoki there, the only 3 that you could really see actually on the exterior. And they are doing beadwork, it looks like. And you can see a number of things that have been hung up. It seems like maybe like a craft that is exchanged. Spice. As you get closer to this building, the Ruby Eyes are a clan that were here when you were here. And so anybody who might be a little bit on the older side probably would remember you, for what it's worth.
But I have my Kasatha disguise
You
on.
do.
And you're filthy, but that's not going to help us here. So.
She stops you right outside. My name's Rita.
Hi, Rita.
Now, I'll bring you in. Probably the elders aren't going to want to talk too much, but if they do ask any questions, just be real polite.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Ours is the same way.
The door open, and the air instantly, it's air conditioned in there, and so nice and cool. It comes out, but within, relatively dark, and you can see through the skylight, this big kind of shaft of light comes through, and in the very middle is huge expanse of space, almost empty. there is a little card table and 3 old Yosoki that seem to be playing poker. You can see one of them wearing like a red trucker hat and kind of lifts it up, and you don't see the eyes, just like the folds. They just kind of regard you and just go back to what they're doing. But Rita shuts the door behind you all, now in the shadows of this expansive space. You hear the like whir of an air conditioner somewhere.
Spice is going to pull the scarf further up and then over her head.
Okay. So she leans into you a little bit, Gibbs. All right, so Spice, the table off in the distance, you can actually see all of a sudden, like there is a little bit more of a commotion, and then all 3 of the heads kind of turn. Make a sense motive check.
My newly painted dice.
Ooh. Okay, well. Oh, shit.
They are a lot easier to read.
Sense, yes. It's going to be a 12.
12. You're probably excited to see Gibbs. New Yosoki.
Yeah.
So Rita kind of leans into you, Gibbs. So what do you know about junk falls will always be junk?
Well, I am bottles. I wrote I started the blog, but...
Wait, the junk falls will always be junk Infosphere blog?
Yeah, that's me. I had to leave, but...
Have you looked at it recently?
No, so...
She kind of pulls out her communicator, which you could see ancient, but it's had like another screen attached to it and then taped on. But like brings up the screen, it flickers a little bit, and she kind of punches it and it brightens up. And you can see your blog, so many posts. It's just like hundreds of posts. People have like added in, there's like pictures of junk falls will always be junk hashtags that are like spray painted on the side of other planets buildings. It's become a little bit of a larger movement. And so Bottles, your original article, long lost in the stack of articles that are there. You would imagine people probably, unless they are people that are very like, you know, deep mining and really are getting into the nitty gritty of junk falls will always be junk, most people probably don't know who Bottles is.
Nice.
Now you're like the creator of this and people have no idea who you are.
Oh my god.
But they just kind of lean in and go, I don't really know what that is.
That's okay.
It's gotten huge. And so if you were part of this, you're like the webmaster or something?
Well, that's my home. That's my cause, actually. That's why part of why I came here, actually. I heard that there was...
What did you hear?
Well, you know, I've been a little disconnected for a while, I guess, obviously, but...
She leans into you and she says, this is real important. One Yosoki to another. What did you hear?
Well, I was looking for something more of a tribal leader, but GPF moved in, it seems. But I don't know the history there.
So you didn't hear anything about us, though?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was thrilled that you were here, because my family is open door policy all the time, you know, but I get that that's not always, that's fine.
It's because of the GPF. I mean, when they moved in, they got really nasty, and if we want to have any control over what we can do, we kind of have to keep to ourselves and keep other people out. And they've tried to get other people who aren't in uniform in, and they get kind of sneaky sometimes. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
well, this is why I'm interested in Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk.
Yeah?
I'm interested in what they're doing because we're kind of maybe doing something similar.
Well, Rentropy moved in and starved most of my family, or drove them to leave to avoid starvation, and you know, it's a really sad and sordid tale, but this blog is one of optimism, really. It's that we might be able to reclaim our home if we can get some amount of power and control back.
Well, yeah, I mean, and kind of like flicks through the blog, and you can see there are 2 counters, one on either side. One is the Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk starship movement, and one is the political movement. The political movement way over.
Oh, look at that thermometer!
About like 80% versus the other one. And you can see Rita kind of points at it and just goes, no, I mean, I know all about that, but...
Ding!
Little ding goes up a little tiny bit. But no problem. So she, sorry, what did you say? I lost it.
Blog of optimism. I'm excited about it. She's showing me the counters.
So yeah, I mean, know all about that, and I know that you're trying to change things. Kind of similar situation to us. I mean, not as official, it seems, but we would like things to be more like they used to be.
Yeah.
And so
I get what you're putting down. So if things were back to the way that they were, what might need to change? What are the
I'm
pillars?
sorry. I understand your connection to all this, but what's your deal? I mean, you're a Kasatha.
Spice is looking around, trying to like gauge the scenery, but then once she gets addressed, she's like, what was the question?
She says, I don't understand how you're connected to this junk files will always be junk movement. I mean, no offense, just...
Oh, I'm a huge supporter. And she pulls up like a shirt. Because
everyone's got 'em.
always been joke.
Make a bluff check.
Yeah!
But you are a huge supporter!
Yes, but I feel like that is not really the truth of like what... That's certainly
Okay,
a
it's
bluff.
gonna be well, with my bluff check, it's a 30.
Yeah.
And yeah, that tracks.
My paws were too small. I needed bigger hands, to be honest.
And I got hands.
All four of your hands come up, your two normal ones and the two fake Kasatha ones. And she goes, well, that's true, I guess. All right. If it were to go back to being the way that it was, we wouldn't have GPF here. At least not the way it is now.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I heard that there's a guy here that he's who's got the bounty?
Oh, I
Tick,
got
Sojourn.
Nice. No.
Sojourn,
Sitsu?
Sitsu.
Sitsu, is he just a figurehead? Now I'm talking all southern.
Sitsu?
Sitsu? Is he figurehead or is he like real deal here?
I mean, he's in charge. I don't know what his deal is because he's not a soldier or anything, but they all listen to him. He's called a military governor, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that seems like bullshit.
But he always goes with soldiers, and so you kind of have to do what he says.
But if he wasn't here, would someone just take up the military governorship or GPF disband, or would that be enough to sort of inspire everyone else who feels the same way?
I guess it depends on who takes over.
what?
Do you have someone?
Well,
You
there
had
used to be
someone.
a family that lived here, and they did keep us safe for a while, but
What
Like it-
happened?
everybody that tried to... She looks around. Okay. There was something called the Golden Eyes Rebellion.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to talk about it. But there was this girl, Mari. She snapped a couple years back and really wanted things to be they were because her best friend, I guess, went over to the GPF and there's some bad things that happened at the church, and that's kind of where things seem to end. But
Was that the last time you tried?
it was the last time anybody tried.
So that was. There's a parade coming up, right? To mark that occasion. To rewrite that history, right?
Is it almost the end of March already?
I
March
went to
comes like a
Jazzy
lion.
Gifs and he was talking about it.
Oh,
That's all.
Then yeah, I mean I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, I know. I came here with a different understanding, and now I'd hate to leave empty-handed. That's all. But
Well, what happened to the family that was protecting you guys?
Oh well, the two oldest, who really were kind of moving on in years anyways, they got sick, but nobody thinks it was really sick.
What?
They think Sitsu was behind it.
What?
When they were still here, they could stand up to him. They weren't afraid of him, especially with Julian, even when he was hurt. Julian's their son. And, but they're gone. Julian left. And now there's just that little girl, but she acts tough, but I think she's pretty hurt inside.
See.
Ritsu, that's tough, and that reminds me of my home too. I wish I could help. I don't know that we can, but
Well, I mean, if you're part of the Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk movement, could you get us drills? Like big ones?
Yes.
well,
We'll get you
no,
some drills.
wait, I have a cousin that usually is my hookup for that kind of thing, but one of them's lost among the stars right now, so I would hate to burden that side of the family with this. I can pass along your information, but I don't want to. I don't want to be unrealistic, I guess. So,
Where?
do you know the Eclipse Mall?
Yeah, of course I know the Eclipse Mall.
Yeah, I got some cousins who work at Days and Glow. All that glitters.
All that glitters. All that glistens.
All that. Oh no, all that glows.
All that
There you go.
glitters.
All that glows there, or whatever.
It's only shooting
That's us.
I don't know
stars.
the particular place. I mean, there's almost 3,000 stores there, but
Not as
I'm sure they could probably help us.
Let me send them an email. I'll
We
see.
need like industrial equipment.
Industrial. Oh, that's tougher though. Well,
Why don't you get it from that Warmont? You guys have so much steel and shit being built here. Why can't you get it from them?
Well, Warmonger Industries took up a lot of what Perdido Mining Company is making, and now they're a drought company. They're contracted out through the GPF.
Oh,
Everything that they make goes wherever it is that GPF stuff is going these days since the war.
fuck them.
is it cause? Okay, I have heard a little bit of gossip. Okay,
Okay?
that you guys are drilling into the.
So you did hear something. Who told you that?
Well, I heard it at the bar on the street.
Ah!
At which bar?
I don't know. I was passing one with some neon.
They all have how?
I've been here all of like a day. I'm sorry, but yeah, I guess that is what I heard.
Maybe.
Okay, I support you. I do. If we could drill into the earth and this, what you've got here is what I wish I had still, and I want you to not ever lose it.
It's important that people don't know about this.
I will steer them differently if I ever hear it again.
During the rebellion, we lost people, and they're in the GPF prison, and that's below ground.
The GPF prison is below ground.
Oh yeah,
Where?
That sounds bad.
underneath the base.
Who's down there?
Well, we have 4 or 5 family members down there. We'd like to get out, but
Have you ever tried to break them out?
Well, they're
No.
trying with drills. That's.
Oh, I see.
She's a little slow.
It's not. I'm slow.
kinda looks back and
also
forth and
with
she
my
goes-
voice.
she goes, maybe it'll be better if I just show you. Listen,
Yes.
you cannot tell anybody about this.
I cross my paw and I say, I promise I won't.
This is everything for us. So she turns and kind of walks off into the darkness and stops. And where she stops is like right at the edge where the skylight comes down, and you can see like half of her face in shadow, half in light. And she says, "Come on now," and she just steps off and disappears. You follow. Spicy following?
She puts up 4 thumbs up.
One of them kind of flicks a little bit because it's like not quite built properly.
Little
But no
sparks.
problem.
I'm slow by cannon.
Okay. So you walk into these shadows. Give me just one moment here.
As I pass the elders,
Yes.
Yeah, can
They're-
I
do
they're-
some,
they're like probably about
perception
50 feet.
checks?
They're like all the other
Alright.
end. But yeah, you can certainly.
then before I walk into like the darkness, I
Okay.
will lift up my favorite coffee mug
Okay.
and I will place it on the ground and put some meat pucks in it, and then leave it there and scamper off, like offering to the elders, but not like encroaching on their space, but being like,
So the one with the red trucker hat, when he sees you do that, and he just kind of shifts this like little car, this metal folding chair aside, and he gets up, and you can hear this as his back like straightens up. He's old.
yeah.
He's white of fur as well as most of these Usoki are, but you can see it's almost like darker than it should be because it's gray. Most of the color like losing from it. But he kind of shuffles over, and you can see he's wearing flip flops, mismatched, He gets over to your little meat puck and he picks one up.
Well, it's the coffee mug filled with meat pucks.
He's just going to pick a meat puck up out of it. And he's just going to take a little sniff of it and start unwrapping it. But in this moment, Spice, you can see he looks up, and as you're like turning to go, he stares straight into your eyes. And you get the sense that this Yosoki recognizes you.
Do I recognize him?
Just an old Yosoki.
Okay.
But they rolled a natural 20 on their check. And so they see right through your disguise. This individual picks up the meat puck, tears the wrapper off, which actually takes a couple of tries because their hands are a little shaky. But then they just take a bite, try to tear it, then tear it away, and then they turn around. And you get the sense that they are not super happy with you.
Spice, seeing that she thinks they recognize her, she's going to put up 2 arms and wink at him, and then continue on her way.
Okay. So you do.
I leave my offering for the elders as I feel I'm obligated to.
No problem.
Can I also do a perception check or like investigation or whatever of this compound while we're inside it?
So yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back to you guys in a second. Echo, is there anything that you do at this point? It's maybe been 10 minutes. You're just sitting outside. Every now and then you'll see just like a speeder go by or a vehicle of the wheeled variety. Okay.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Once we leave, we'd probably try to contact everyone
Okay.
to be like, yo, we just saw Kakashi.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So you, as you begin to look around, you don't actually see this, but you would see Rita goes to where there's like a locker, a set of like old corrugated, like really, really rusted lockers. And there's like maybe 7 of them in a haphazard pile. And one that's at a weird angle, kind of diagonal to the ground. She opens up the door and you can see just steps that go down into this false pile of lockers. And she turns and she just says, watch your head.
Yep.
But it opens up once you get in.
Okay.
She kind of makes her way down, and instantly, as you begin to walk down, you can hear laughter, you can hear little bits of music in the distance. But for you guys, and for you, Spice, you get this message that comes up. And Shade and Bubs.
No, I would call.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't message that.
Go ahead, make
You
your
know,
call.
keep it on the secure channels.
No problem.
And I would probably try to contact just Echo first, assuming they're all together, and then don't
So
trust
Echo, you
these
pick
two
up your
kids.
comms and you see Shade.
Yes,
Where are you right now?
I am standing outside the Ruby Eyes clan compound.
Why?
I was not allowed inside.
Where are the others?
Inside.
We just met someone who is important to the current situation. We should regroup. It's...
More information is required before we abandon the mission.
I was under the assumption that we weren't going to pursue the mission with the Ruby Eyes. Especially not when we were separated.
Ah,
It's foolhardy to attempt to assassinate someone literally the first day that we've arrived.
I do not believe it is Gibbs' intention to assassinate anyone, especially someone of the Yosoki clan. Therefore, we are not technically acting on the mission, merely gaining information. It would be good to know the layout of the clan's compound, especially as they are especially closed off to visitors.
Regardless, you need to be careful.
I agree. That is why I remain standing on guard in case Gibbs decides to contact me.
We need to meet up whenever they get out. Contact me.
Understood.
No problem. So you make that contact. And where are you guys going
We're going now
on your Perdido tour?
up towards, that's going to be Kilroy's Canteen and the Oasis Casino. Those are the 2 places. It's not a Friday, is it?
It is a
in fact
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
But it
We're
has to
trying
be
to
the
go-
first or
yeah.
last Friday.
Is it the first or last Friday of the month?
I believe Bubs has this, but it is 327. So yeah, you would imagine.
Oh shit! All right, we're going to
Probably
Kilroy's
yeah,
first because that's on the way first anyway. But we're going to Kilroy's because we're trying to figure out this fucking governor.
It is still maybe like 1 p.m. and so relatively empty.
As we're leaving, actually, never mind.
They say one.
As you walk towards it, Kilroy's, you can see a single level building, relatively squat to the ground, and you can see large or long expansive windows that open out into the street. There are seats that would allow somebody to sit by them, but nobody in those. There are 2 drow who are at the bar right now. Behind the bar, the neon of this place is what looks like the nose and face of a humanoid peeking out over something. Very odd looking image. And then you see a well-dressed drow, although you recognize, Shade, this is not a drow. This is an android. Behind this counter. They seem to be looking after people here. Beyond that, a little bit across the street and then around the corner almost is... that was, where was the other place you were looking at?
Oasis Casino, a little down the road.
A little larger. So interesting.
Is that one new?
Yes.
Very new. And actually, it's not larger, at least not as far as you can see it. There's a small pyramid that sits in the place that I think, Spice, you would remember used to be houses and then like a small little bench area. But it's a small pyramid, and it stands on a roughly 50 by 100 foot lot. And exactly along the borders of this lot, almost making it look like a video game, there is perfect grass and water features. And you recognize this is what used to be outside of Aui's Inn. Thank you. However, it's been used here to create essentially an oasis around this casino. Shade, you see there are themes of yellow and silver blue. There are palm trees and camel imagery everywhere. You can see there are signs for games like Akaton Survivor Dice, 10 credit slot machines, all kinds of things. But you also notice all across this place there are GPF soldiers. And beyond GPF soldiers, you haven't seen any that look quite like this. The armor a little bit more advanced. You can see they do not have their weapons drawn, but the way that they stand make you sure that they are ready to fight should they need to. They seem to be maybe security, but in this place, hard to tell. There are people in here, certainly.
Okay. So since it's still pretty early, I would probably suggest that we check out the casino first and then go back to Kilroy's when it gets later to see if we can...
What time is it exactly right now?
It's like just past 1, you said?
Yeah, like 1:15 maybe.
Okay, yeah.
So probably go to the casino, see if we can get some info there on the governor.
Okay.
And then when it's, I guess, like 4 when we would guess that he would maybe be going to Kilroy's, head back to Kilroy's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And try to find him.
No problem.
Yeah.
So you make your way over to the casino. We'll pick that up in a second. For you two, and spiritually Echo. Give me 1 second here.
I think when Echo got contacted by Shade, they would try to like ping the other 2
Okay.
to let them know that they were on a time crunch.
Yeah. And so no problem. That communication does get through.
Spice obviously ignores everything.
There we go. Okay.
Rita, 1 second.
That's why Shade
Hello?
Oh, Echo would just put it in a text.
Hello? Okay, just kidding. I do none of that because it's a text.
Echo would just put in a text.
I got no service down here.
Shade requests a meetup and a situation report.
I send her a very discreet pic of my Healy.
I thought that was going somewhere else.
Like,
Just like-
above ground, there's just slow
But like in
blinking.
the background, it's like dirt.
Still.
Yeah. It's like, do with that what you will.
Now, the space that you enter into as you walk down these metal steps, only about 5 feet of them, you have to bend your head here, but it's like a very short little mess hall. There's a table that extends down this very long room. There's a number of little seats and benches and cushions that have all been piled around. There's old dishes and things still left here. There are a number of flies, That doesn't really bother you. This is a place that smells like old food. You hear laughter, but you see right as you enter, an element of the wall on the far end just close very quietly, and then you just hear little giggles, and then you hear little feet run away. And Rita kind of turns around and just says, "There's more, but we have a whole community down here, and we haven't really been able to exist on the surface for some time, and that's mostly due to the way that we look." They just gesture to the white fur and the red eyes, but that was a choice before. Now we can't even go out, and we're not allowed to have shops without Zitsu.
Whoa, because of what you look like? You're not allowed to have shops because...
No, we burn in the sun. I'm Perdido. It's
frail
hot
skin.
Oh.
But at least back then it was our choice. We could still go out and we could still trade with people and run our own shops, but now you need a 500,000 credit permit to trade. And I guarantee you the shops that are operating now, they're not paying anything. They're all related to GPF. They're all Drow,
Right.
all Shunta.
I feel for you. We lost a whole generation. I don't want you to go through that. Or have to live underground. That's no way.
Well, we're good at living underground. And that's kind of where our plan came in. There's a couple people from the Ruby Eyes who may have helped lead that little rebellion. And along with some of the other leaders, we were going to try to break them out. And
Is Mari down there in the prison?
yeah, how'd you know about her?
You told me about Mari.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mari, she's one of the leaders. She's down there as well. There's a few folks that we'd like to get out, actually. Not all of them are, rebels. Some of us are just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, but an indiscriminate eye is gonna lump you guys together. I think I need to be a little more honest here.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, she doesn't actually say that out loud. Spice says it in her mind. She's like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" Honest, what do you mean? Spice says in
Rita,
her mind.
you're important. You guys are so important. I think we have intersecting interests, but I need a bigger quorum in order to do this. Can I come back and talk to you? We can talk through a wall, and I promise you nothing but honesty, but I do want to help you here. I just need an hour.
I mean, I can wait an hour.
Okay, can I come back in an hour? We don't have to come all the way down here, but this is important. I don't want you to lose this, and we have some things we need, and you have some things you need, but I think we can help each other, and I don't want to be some stranger off the street coming at you like this, so...
I think what Delilah here is trying to say is, we're on your side.
Maybe. But let's keep talking. If you have something you need to do, that's fine.
Yeah, let me come back. This is important.
But just...
I'm not gonna...
tell anybody else.
I won't. I promise. Pinky promise. Hold up my pinky.
Let's stick out their little pinky. Pinky promise.
Okay, Rita, I'll be back. Thank you. And I'm sure people here have stuff to say too, but let's talk to our communities and come back together.
Okay, we'll talk to Doc on Tuesday and see what we can do.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you for showing this to me and for your honesty. It really means the world.
Maybe next time I'll get to show you more.
Please.
Why can't we do that now?
We need to talk. And I'm gonna grab all the hands.
Okay.
And skitter up. Skitter up.
See you later.
Bye.
And rush out the door.
What's the rush?
And burst into the sunshine.
What?
And straight into Echo's back.
Like immediately just draws weapons. It's like, what?
Hi.
What?
We're good. They're not chasing us. I'm just excited. I'm so excited.
Why'd we leave?
Okay, I got your text. We need to meet up.
The charge from your charge shot goes down.
Call everybody.
Quiet.
Oh.
We are trying to be inconspicuous, and this town is quiet, and you are yelling quite loudly.
I made a friend.
That is good.
I know, and I like making friends, but I need you guys to be on board. Okay. And I pull out my communicator and I speed dial.
Gibbs, we are going to meet with Shade and Bubs now.
Oh, where?
And
And I see the thing, and I'm like, speed dial faster. Why is speed dial not speedier? And I call the group chat.
No problem. So all of your communicators go off.
Yes, Echo.
Hi. It's me calling. This is my call.
There's like an echo going on.
Okay. Can we get lunch? I'm hungry.
As you can see, they have returned.
And I have important menu items to discuss.
Apparently.
Where can we get lunch? Lunch, please.
We were going to the casino until going to Kilroy's, but I don't think that would be a good place to meet up.
The casino
We had
or
assumed
Kilroy's.
There was more time, given my last communication with Echo.
Why don't we meet at the van? We can have lunch in the van. I'll meet you in the van.
We're going
There
to
are so many places in this town. Why can't we go find some other place to eat?
I'm going to stay here until we do some reconnaissance at Kilroy's.
Why don't we go to
I have
Legs
information that could
first?
change that.
That information isn't going to go anywhere, but the governor is.
It's timely.
We know that he frequents this bar
We could.
Fridays.
Bubs,
It's Friday.
hearing Spice's voice, kind of gets freaked out a bit, and like kind of pulls on Shade's shoulders, like kind of like hang up.
Can you, if you're gonna see the governor, can you try to get a fingernail or some hair or something? Or even some hair of his warrior friends? But I'm saying this real quietly.
Bubs, make a stealth check. And, okay, yeah, no problem. You guys are still in the compound,
Okay.
like, kind of
Nice.
walking out towards the exterior wall, so you feel like you're probably not going to be overheard. There's just those Yosoki maybe like 80 feet away now, doing
That
beating.
is 19.
Okay. So you don't see Bubs just being like, cut, stop. So Bubs, you successfully do that off camera. What I would say is, I forgot what I was going to say. So that's all. That's what I got.
All right, if you don't want a quorum, then fine.
I wanted a quorum a little bit ago.
I'm sorry I don't function on your schedule, and I'm gonna hang up the
No
phone
problem.
because I tried to be a team
Echo.
player.
I think we should go to the old church for
We'll
lunch.
meet up later, after we finish this reconnaissance, since this is actually time sensitive.
Understood.
I don't think Spice would have seen the note about Kankashi because she doesn't actually read anything.
And
I
Echo
didn't-
hangs up.
I didn't message it.
Just,
Oh, okay.
That's because I didn't want to
Say
put
it on
that
the
sort of
phone.
info.
Right.
Echo leans back.
I apologize. I was under the impression that Shade wanted to meet up sooner.
Yeah, well, he was
You
kind of
said he
rude.
had pressing information.
I thought, yeah. Okay. Let's find a dark alleyway to talk.
I don't know what you trying
Why
to talk
do we require a dark alleyway?
Yeah.
In a compound not secluded enough.
I like how I built you guys a whole town, and you're like, we're gonna eat lunch in the van, and we're gonna talk in alleyways.
Why don't
and
we
we're not
find literally anything?
Okay.
Or like the meat factory that you
Let's go
have
stick
a
our heads in the
hideout
Yeah.
dirt.
All right. I'm gonna start walking out the compound,
Okay. No
and I'm
problem.
gonna tell Echo, like what we saw, and I'm also
I think once we get on the streets and Gibbs starts mentioning the like inside of the compound, Echo would be like, "Wait."
I'm trying to talk to you, but you don't want to go anywhere to talk, and I can't talk.
Echo's like walking.
I thought we were headed back to the van and the Eats Meats factory.
Can we go to the van? I want to go to the van.
Just go to the van.
All right, and I heely to the van.
Okay. So you wheel around and then
All
feel
right,
in the other
fine.
direction.
I feel like. Never mind.
Can I tell if Spice is drunk from all the whiskey? I assume you have to keep like sipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I would say without even a check, you can. It's taken a toll. You guys are out in the hot sun.
Yeah.
She's just like slugging whiskey. So yeah.
Gotta keep my voice
Echo's
up.
feeling better about deciding to go to the fan.
Yeah.
I need to give this one a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Roll the
Spice
window
of
down.
wine.
Yeah, she's mixing. Yes, Spice switches to water while she's among friends.
I go reach for my favorite coffee mug and it's not there anymore.
No.
What did you want to talk about?
Okay. So right, they want to break their friends out of prison, right? And they want a rebellion part 2.
To be clear, we are at the van now.
So you get in the van, you turn it on, air conditioning. Takes a second. It's really hot. Gibbs, you don't have any pants on, so you burn your butt a little bit on the seat.
Echo would like wave to 21 as they were going in if 21 was there.
21 is not there.
Okay.
So as you enter, one of the van that they were working on, in fact, is not there.
Echo's a little dejected.
Not to worry. You make your way into this Eats Meats factory, and you have privacy.
Okay. So if they want to break people out of prison, right? And like we have a bounty to kill the guy, right? And it's been complicated and tough for bounty hunters to just come in, right? But if it's part of a bigger rebellion, we become a lot more noticeable, and his warriors and stuff become like busier, like, and maybe, just maybe, we could actually leave this place just a little bit better by also getting our bounty. It could be a 2-for-1.
I know Mari.
Is she cool?
I grew up with Mari, yes.
Are you the best friend that left?
Yes.
So you want to rescue her, right?
I desperately want to rescue her, but you know, there's more to this story. It was me and Mari and Meeg.
And Beans?
Meeg.
I love the idea that in Olive's
Our
like,
friendship was
super
founded
expansive
upon
family
beans.
with all like characters named after anime. It's just it's Chopper and Beans.
Well, it's a very
Beans.
Yosoki name.
We used to make fun of her when I was a kid. We used to call her Beans.
Yeah, it dressed her up a lot. All right. So
Me and Beans.
You, Mari, and Meeg were all friends, right? So we found you.
Yeah, you see this tattoo of Hylax I have on my hand?
Yeah.
All 3 of us have it when we joined the GPF.
Okay, but
But don't forget that Meeg is very much still a part of the GPF.
yeah, I mean, so we might have to kill Meeg, right?
I will never kill Meeg, but she sounds like she's the right-hand man to...
Right, but if we can keep her busy with a bigger rebellion, then that might not be a choice you have to make or anything.
Yes, I follow you and I'm on board.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think we lean into this, and maybe on Saturday while they're celebrating this big thing, it can be Rebellion Part 2. And if we can use the Ruby Eyes clan to really like do this, if they have the oomph to break the people out of prison, then we can sweep in and kill.
So you're saying we rally all of the people that we know to stage a rebellion on the celebration day?
Yeah, but that's
I love it. Let's do it.
okay. But
As much as I love your idealism, both of you, we must also think about this pragmatically.
Is it too soon? Do we not know enough?
I mean, yes.
We've been here for 2 hours. How do we not know enough?
But
Rebellion
If
time.
you would let me speak. We are associated with Mosaic. If we are to be seen leading a rebellion against the GPF, it would go poorly not only for Mosaic, but also for our continued employment.
Yeah, but fuck the GPF. Everybody knows they're bad.
While that is true, having an international government against you is not wise, especially as a corporation.
But we are on a legitimate bounty, and there's people here who legitimately want a rebellion. And if we break people out of prison, it's gonna start a rebellion whether or not the community's prepared for it. We don't have to take the fall for the rebellion, just the bounty.
I agree. I do not disagree with the idea behind your plan. The premise is sound. I just disagree with us being at the forefront. I think gentle pushes and suggestions might be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get drills or something. and
Maybe a little less grand.
Well, I mean, you think?
I
down-
disagree.
I'm down
with
with the
you.
Ruby
I think
Eye.
it needs to be as grand. If we're going to take over and free people from a GPF prison
we're gonna need something as big as a civil rebellion.
Indeed. But a successful rebellion does not start with one big show of force. After all,
I
the
don't know.
GPF is better armed, the GPF is better trained, and the GPF have allies around every corner.
So are you saying we need to grow our forces before we stage our rebellion?
I am saying we need to get better at thinking tactically and stealthily. If we were to infiltrate the prison and release the captives that way, it might be a resource-light option.
So, what's
I'm
tactical
confused.
about a drill?
Yeah.
How do we? I hear what you're saying. I'm here for it. How do we find out more about this prison? How do we find out more about this prison? Right?
We have 2 other companions who are out doing reconnaissance. Perhaps, as they are not connected to this location, they can make friends with members of the GPF.
All right, sounds good to me. Like a spy.
We can play both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
tough. But I
So
hope you.
we'll be on the rebellion side, and then they'll be on the GPF side. Spy says and joke and.
I would
quotes.
like to remind you that we are on a bounty for Mosaic. As much as this has a personal connection, we must try and keep those personal associations aside.
Yeah, but what does Mosaic care about us? Mosaic sent us here to die. Mosaic sent us here to just zap ourselves against the fleishwater of life here.
And what about Peep?
And what about Peep? He promised he would come if we ever disassociated from Mosaic.
And Nazma's contribution to your cause?
Did I tell you it took off? It's viral. More than it was before. I mean,
And how do you suppose that happened?
my gratitude for them does not indulge my continuation here. I don't have to just die here. I
am not
can't die
suggesting
here.
we die here. I am suggesting that we put our ideals aside and focus on the pragmatic solution.
Which is what? What? I don't understand. Why are you beating around the bush? What is your pragmatic solution then? What?
We strategically place our allies next to people who can get us what we want.
Which is these Yosoki.
Exactly.
Well,
But
but you're
I am-
also GPF, you're saying.
Exactly.
But
I am concerned that your love of the Junk Falls cause is clouding your judgment.
maybe.
We have yet to meet with the actual leaders of the Ruby Eyes clan. You are hearing the perspective of one member,
No, but I didn't want to go that far without.
and their plan is to tunnel under the ground with essentially a spoon to break out leaders of rebellions.
It's mole style. It's a thing. People do it all the time.
Please
Yeah.
name me one successful prison break that happened with a spoon or a drill underground.
Well, people
Shawshank
don't.
Redemption.
Please name me one non-fictional prison break.
You're not
Wait, we
there.
live in a fictional universe.
They don't
This is
advertise those
fiction.
kind of things. No, I hear you. I hear you saying that there is better options potentially. But
What I am saying is, you are in the right direction, but please exercise caution.
I exercise caution. I literally left before
And I am proud of you.
I
that
wish
was a
we
very
didn't leave.
condescending proud of me. I hear you, Echo. Thank you. Thank you for your temperance.
So who wants to be the GPF soldier that
Well, we have to
infiltrates?
talk to Shade first, because he's gonna have some other bullshit idea.
All right. All right, let's go meet him. Spices.
No, we can't. We gotta
Why?
fucking wait, because he's being a piece of shit.
What?
We are.
I am so confused about the politics of Mosaic right now.
No, so he like texted. Look, he texted Echo to say that we
didn't-
should come,
didn't
and then I
text.
was like, "Hey, we're ready," and then
I
he was
didn't
like,
text.
"I'm not ready." Whatever.
Why can't
Echo,
things be
Echo
simple
pulls
like a
out
love
weed
triangle?
pucks from like a crate and just starts handing them out and like shoves it in Gibbs' mouth, and then shoves one in Spice's mouth.
I just get dirtier. I
We
just.
are on
Yeah.
the side of the rebellion.
Yeah.
Shade, not. We are on reconnaissance side of the rebellion. Shade and Bubs are on the GPF side. They are currently investigating multiple locations connected with the GPF.
But why would we have Spice on that side of the rebellion if they're all gonna blame her for the rebellion?
Because either way, Spice is
Well-
connected to something tragic.
I think what's gonna happen is they're going to praise me on behalf of the GPF. I think, when I said I was on the wrong side of history, I used to fight for the GPF.
No, but they blame you for their home. You're the brick that moved and toppled the rest of it, not the GPF.
Well,
You leaving caused Julian to leave, and that's what ruined their home. And
yes.
we're gonna go in there, and we're gonna have to be a little bit honest about maybe who you are and what we're looking for in order to get their buy-in, right?
But as Spice has a deeper connection to this location than the GPF, I have concerns about the GPF simply executing Spice for abandoning her post.
Yeah, I mean, they'll execute her just because they know she's a bounty hunter after Titsu. Anyone who knows where bounty hunter is going to put that together.
Therefore, it seems safer to have Spice with us. Not only do we have 2 bodies to guard her, she will be less likely to appear in front of the GPF, since she will be with leaders of the rebellion.
Right, but we can't garner a whole rebellion if they don't believe in Spice. We have to get them to believe in you. Believe that you're sorry. That you're here to fix things.
Yes.
And
Are
that
you?
will be our mission.
Of course. I hate the GPF, and more than I hate the GPF, I love Julian's family. And anybody who knows me, who knows Spice, knows that I would do anything for them.
Are you prepared to eat shit?
That's what I came here for, baby. Let's do it.
Spice, even though you project confidence, there is a moment in your mind where you hear the echo of Seljun's voice, where he says, I guess we'll see how much people have changed.
Spice swallows that when she thinks about the way Aoi looks now compared to the way Aoi looked when she was a child.
Absolutely. Now, before we get into the Oasis Casino, because it is 8:15, this is where we're going to take a quick break. So it is 8:15. We're going to step away for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 8:25 to wrap up this session. A little bit of a late break. Sorry about that. We'll see you in just a little bit.
wholesome,
friend
but
or-
like
Welcome back to
Allie
Mosaic
is
Team 5,
Julian's younger
our
sister.
Starfinder
Okay.
campaign. Matthew, have anything to share with
Because I
the
thought that
group?
was March.
No, I was gonna say stuff, but then I stopped talking because you were ready to start.
Yeah, you didn't actually. You
I
You
did.
stopped talking when I was midway
I had it
through.
right down.
talking.
No, that was these two.
Ah. So, we are back to our Starfinder campaign. Shade and Bubs, the two of you are entering into the Oasis Casino. Give me 1 second here. There are a number of people here who are engaged in various bits of gambling. You can see as you enter.
Wearing our new ponchos.
Yes. And I will tell you, immediately you feel very underdressed. The people here tend to be dressed a little bit nicer, although as soon as you enter, there's a counter and you can see somebody kind of standing behind it. But off to the right, there are a ton of like slot machines. And the people there dressed in various kind of garb. This is probably where people kind of coming off the street and, you know, this is what they're doing. Beyond this point, you can see there's dice tables, and those seem to be, you know, a little bit more high-end.
They're all playing D&D though.
They're all playing D&D, yeah.
Whoa!
Somehow they've made D&D into gambling.
Yeah, D&D gambling.
But as you take your first steps in, one of the two GPF guards at the door steps forwards and kind of holds out a hand. And you can see there is like a helmet on, but they are probably drow based on their hand. Through this mechanical filtration, you can just see, halt. Do you have any weapons on your person?
I relinquish my weapons.
Okay. we
Yeah,
take-
I also.
You can see, and are you keeping any back?
I don't do I have my fist.
I kind of want to keep the gravity gun because I'm worried that they're gonna confiscate that.
What are you doing?
But
just have my
I don't
hammer.
have anywhere to like securely seal that. So I think I don't have a butthole.
What are you doing?
Where do those cigarettes come from?
I'm gonna hand them over, but I'm gonna put the gravity gun sort of under the pile so it's a little more inconspicuous.
Okay.
I just have my hammer.
He just kind of takes it all, puts it in this like little gray bin, and you can see it just kind of disappears. He takes this almost like it looks like one of those things that
Like
you
a
have
coat
at a
tag.
podium to remote.
Yeah.
No. And he takes it and he points it at you and he presses it and this little beam comes out and he just scans down. And you imagine it's good that you did not try to keep a weapon back.
Yeah.
Scans you as well.
Yeah.
And then just stands to the side.
So you're no longer
Enjoy your
packing.
time at the Oasis Casino.
As Bubs enters, he starts thinking about his time on the Oris Bay Casino with Spice.
As Shade enters, Shade also thinks about that. He's not going to let Bubs more than like 1 foot away from him.
So off to the right, you see these 10 credit slot machines. There's maybe 5 or 6 people standing at the 30 or so slots. Still, you know, right middle of the day. You can see camels and cactuses and crossed revolvers spinning around on these wheels. Off to the left, you can see there's a big sign that floats in the air, and it says Akaton Survivor Dice. There is one table that is currently active. You can see a dealer, a number of people that are kind of played around, and you actually watch as one person rolls. You can see most people have rolled their dice, but they seem to have held theirs for the last, and they roll, the dice come up, and then from above, a holograph is projected. And you can see there is some kind of a large owl over one of the dice. There is a, actually, you would definitely know, a Akaton sandworm over another.
Ooh.
And a, just what looks like a little bug over another. And you can see the dealer just calls out, "It's a mite, sorry, loser all around." And there's like a bunch of groans and, you know, the chips get swept up and it seems as if somebody just lost. These are the two games that you can see kind of immediately out in front. They stretch on. And then in the center of the room, there is a grand staircase that descends. And you recognize this pyramid, just kind of like a shape on top. This descends further in. And so this is probably built down, similar to other structures that you've heard of or perhaps have seen.
Okay. I guess Shade would go in trying to just, you know, appear as a generic casino goer, but looking for basically like trying to scope out the place for GPF security. Like, how heavy is it here? Are there any big name people that we could recognize, or are there like congregations of people that look like they might have some connection to the GPF / the governor?
Okay.
And is the governor himself here?
So make a perception check.
Bubs is going to look for. Is there any like slot game? I know you said there's only 2 games, but is there like any like old people who just seem like they're the people who just like constantly just pulling the slots, like those kind of people?
Make a life sciences check. It's an interesting group in here.
Yeah.
So the first person in the row of slot machines that seems mostly occupied, there's 3 people there and then 1 person off in the corner. This is it looks like a giant floating brain with 2 arms that kind of are out and 2 tiny little legs. And this little arm kind of flicks and you see the lever.
What is the race of that code?
What did you roll on your life sciences check?
A 14.
A 14?
I know the race in the game, but
so Dan, you would know these as a contemplative, but this is contemplative. But this is just a brain creature to Bubs.
yeah, okay, sounds about
What's
right.
that brain guy?
Beyond that,
Scientific
you do see that one lone figure off in the corner, ancient-looking old man.
Yeah, okay, human.
Yeah, and you can see like they're strapped in there. There's several empty plates right next to them. They have a huge drink that is like strapped to their side, and they like clearly not really moving.
I got a 31.
Okay. With a 31, as you walk through, first of all, there is certainly security here. There are a number of people who look like they are probably better off. You do not see the governor. With a 31, give me 1 second here. You would notice that off in the back area, actually not really off in the back area. So I'm trying to figure out how you would notice this. Give me 1 moment. At this moment, as you are kind of standing there looking and trying to figure out what's happening and looking for any sign of this governor, there is this kind of jolt from behind you as a busboy bumps into you. And they're pushing this cart with this awful looking, it looks almost like gelatin, but it moves in ways that
Aspic.
reminds you it's probably alive.
Oh.
No, this is a creature.
In
But-
aspect.
This younger Lashunta just kind of like tips their hat and just goes, sorry, and just keeps going. And in this moment, you can see like the security guard comes over and just says, hey, you need to get that to the governor's table. They're coming in a couple hours. And they shove him off, and this bus just kind of like continues, and you can see he gets it to the stairs, clicks something, and you can see it just kind of down the stairs, and he follows.
Looking at Bubs.
Is his name Kevin,
No,
but with an
it's
apostrophe?
Silently acknowledge that he also just heard that.
Yeah.
And then discreetly making our way, kind of following where this busboy goes
No problem.
without making it obvious that we're just following him.
I'll follow.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Is
So-
this like a dirty casino with people smoking and stuff?
No, and actually, so you haven't seen a single person smoking in here. Cigarettes, not terribly common. The fact that you have androids that smoke them, androids honestly smoke them more often than organic creatures because it doesn't affect them the same way. Yes.
One android.
You've seen at least 3 androids smoking at this point, not counting Echo, who has smoked once. But you have seen nobody smoking.
Yeah,
here.
okay.
It is relatively clean. It is cool. The air is conditioned here. There's artificial humidity being pumped in here. It's nice.
Nice.
You make your way down. Down the first set of stairs, you arrive in a room that has a number of large card tables, almost mirrored on the top. So there's card tables instead of dice tables down here. These all seem closed for the moment. There are some open slot machines, although nobody actually down here. But this individual goes down this and then takes the cart, stops it right at the end, clicks the button, like wheels it around, and immediately goes down another set of stairs. Huge set of stairs, just like before, another kind of level below. And as you kind of round that stairway, the floor that is the 3rd sublevel, different than the other 2. This is a wide hallway. You can see there are artificial plants, portraits that are hung in these gold frames. All of the people here seem to be drow. The hallway goes far down, and you can see red carpets. The busboy stops. The GPF do the scan on him. You can see they lift up the cloche, the covering of this like weird kind of squiggly thing. They smell it and kind of put it back on. They wave this kid through, and they disappear off and into the hallway.
Okay.
When you said wave through, as in like,
Let him through.
okay, not like this is a private place.
It certainly seems.
This is probably
Okay,
like
I thought it was
the
more of like a come
governor's
on
private
through. Yeah, okay.
entire floor.
Okay. I knew it was either one of the two. Okay.
Okay. Probably don't want to wait around for a few hours for the governor, but also kind of want to like see this governor if we know that he's coming here.
Yeah.
You hear this kind of like sliding open door on the floor that you're in, and all from the bathroom that is off to your right, you can see still zipping up their pants, the Shirin come out. They're wearing their GPF armor. And as they like begin to kind of take their helmet out from under their armpit, they look at you and just go, "What are you doing here? It's supposed to be closed."
Our apologies, we were not aware of that.
I was looking for the bathroom.
There's bathrooms upstairs. Go ahead. And he just kind of like points you back up the stairs.
Is there a private function today?
Yes. Upstairs.
Apologies.
And we'll head back up.
Going upstairs.
He like follows you up the first couple steps and like watches you, but then turns, and if you listen, you can hear him kind of descend down to the third floor.
Okay. We should. We should go.
Are you alright there? You seem like...
It's fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Bub's just thinking that was kind of strange. And he's gonna just
I thought you said we should stay for a bit.
I would like to see the governor, but I don't think that it would be particularly fruitful at this point in time. We know what he looks like based on the bounty poster already. We're not going to be able to access that party downstairs.
I mean, I at least have maybe my laser microphone. Maybe we could listen from a distance.
How feasible would it be for us to plant that somewhere discreetly within? Do you know what the range is for it?
Oh, it's
Does it
pretty.
have a
It's
range?
pretty far.
It's pretty far. You don't know anything about what's beyond that floor, and so hard to tell if it would be in range. Could you hide it? Yeah, sure,
You
absolutely.
could hide in the bathroom.
Could hide it in the bathroom. Okay. Would you like to make the attempt? I'll try to provide a distraction for you when you enter the bathroom.
Okay.
Try to place it somewhere optimal. Near the sink, but not too close that the water will drown out the volume.
I know bathrooms really well because I always make sure they're always clean. So like I know like the best
Good
places
luck.
where that's like yeah, okay, yeah.
To distract any potential guards,
Okay.
because we're going back down to the floor that hopefully is not there. There are slot machines on that floor, right?
Yes.
I would like to use my remote hack to make one of the slot machines start flashing and stuff.
Make a computer check.
Just like an empty one, though.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what?
Whoever gets there first gets it.
Yeah. Mad
Gods are
dash.
angry.
Hold on, let me just make sure, because I think... Yeah, okay.
Anxiety here.
Nice. Alright, that is a 24.
A 24. It's a slot machine. It's not like a hardened military object, and so without any trouble, you use wireless hack, and all that you do, you can't like change the outcome or anything like that. But with that, what you can do is you can make all of the lights and audio functions just turn on and off, and so all of a sudden, the beginning of that bell just starts going, and there's a part where you can hear almost like this little air horn start, but then it stops and starts again. And so all of a sudden, from the second floor, all people can really hear is wah 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 wah, and there's just bright lights. And I would say you can hear the Shirin like coming up the stairs. They go off and go over and begin to investigate this. You can see they bend down with their bug-like appendages, kind of like moving and manipulating the pieces. But if you want, Bubs, make a stealth check, and you can try to sneak into the bathroom.
Please,
You're a win.
please,
You're a win.
please.
You're a win.
17!
Woo!
Plus anything?
Now you're the
Plus
winner.
anything?
I believe.
He doesn't even look at his sheet. He's just like rolling dice.
It doesn't really matter. It's a natural
0.
one.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
What was the total?
Yay!
Plus, it was 17 total.
17.
So, Bubs, you just walk down the stairs.
I Bubs'
the
mind, he's
bathroom.
doing like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, of course.
I would just
But
be
you just
watching
kind of
this
like sneak down to the bottom, and you look, and you just like speed walk across, right into the door. No problem. You go into the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's a very nice bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of moisture on the sink, probably from where the Shirin used it. But yeah, go ahead. So you want to place it in a place that is both optimal for listening
Yeah.
in on something, and you want it to be hidden.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking, like, if there's a frame on the mirror above the sink, kind of like behind the frame
Yeah,
or something.
you can do that. Absolutely. What I would say is make a stealth check.
Or if there's a drop ceiling too.
I put it in the ceiling.
Yeah.
There's no drop ceiling in this.
Those
this
drop
largely
ceilings in
brick place.
2250.
There are.
In,
Yeah,
like,
oh,
you
God,
guys are
in
not.
this
you
swanky
exploited
ass.
a drop ceiling in the office
The
building.
office
That's
building,
what
yeah,
I'm
Drop ceilings
yeah.
are very
Yeah,
convenient.
Yeah, but this
They
is
are
a
drop
swanky ass casino, so.
And
This
it's
does
made
not
of
happen.
brick.
17 again!
Man, if only you could have done this in the first casino you guys went to.
No.
So, no problem. You go over, you see this kind of like little edge to the mirror, and right as you're about to place it there, you recognize that the directionality of the microphone, probably important. There's going to be obstacles in the way, which does lower the amount of like help. So maybe putting it in a place that is a little bit more connected to other places. You look around, and you know bathrooms typically smell pretty bad, and this one doesn't. So it's probably pretty well ventilated. You look up, and there's ventilation shafts, and you can just slide the microphone into that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
No problem.
I'm just keeping an eye out to give. I'm gonna ping Bubs if there's anyone like going into the bathroom or anything.
And so there's a point where you can just see the Shiren who's there, and he's like, "What's going on?" And he just pulls the lever. The lever doesn't go down. He gets his little communicator out, and he's like, "Can we get maintenance down here?" And this thing just keeps going, and it's just wah 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 the whole time. And people are beginning to like come and like look down the stairs. You see this floating brain creature just like over. There's no eyes, there's no like face or anything. But you feel it stare at you. And then though nothing changes, you feel the attention shift from you to the sound.
We both look at each other and then both look down.
This creature can't shake its head as it is just a brain, but you feel the sensation of that as it just floats away from you.
It knows.
But no problem.
You are
Bubs,
the
you
only-
exit the bathroom, you see this Shiren banging away at the machine, and you can just go right back up the stairs.
Nice.
No problem. Well done.
What do we do? Do we just wait here and you can, do your thing?
Well, now that you've placed the recording device, we have no reason to stay.
Well, maybe we should just stay for just a little bit. I mean, I do want to gamble. Spice used to gamble all the time. And I don't know. Maybe it'd be nice.
As long as you don't cheat.
I didn't even cheat the first time. I didn't even want to cheat. It just, it just happened that way.
You're responsible for your own actions. Or inactions.
Yeah.
Whether or not you cheated doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
You allowed it to happen.
You're right. But this time I won't do it. And
What game do you want to play?
well, that one looks fun with the sandworm and the owl, and that looks so much fun.
Heading over there.
Nice.
No problem.
Okay.
You head over to the Akaton Survivor dice table.
Not the players. Just like, I want to play that.
So you can see as you walk up, there is a dealer there who appears to be an android. They have a mechanical brown mustache that kind of curls around. They're wearing like the flat top hat and everything. And as you approach, you can hear this voice emanate, and the mouth doesn't move. It's coming from the throat. But welcome. Have you played Akaton Survivor Dice before?
No. Tell me.
Every player may pay 50 credits and then roll that many dice. The house will then roll a dice. Each dice is represented by a creature of Akaton. The higher the dice, the higher your chances of winning. If a player gets matching dice, it is a giant version of this animal. And the player can roll one more d20 against the house, double or nothing. Player's choice, of course. Would you like to play?
No. Oh yeah, of course.
You can see this large hippo-like humanoid kind of shuffle aside, and you can pull up a chair, no problem. Are you playing as well? Okay.
Shade's gonna be paying for me because all my money goes to Spice, and if I win it, probably give my money to Spice anyways.
Don't do that.
The voice comes out of the
you should
throat
do
again.
that. That's what you do for people
50
who
credits per play. How many per person?
We'll start with one each.
You can see they incline their head slightly, and in the wireless frame of your mind, a little request for 50 credits comes up, and then another little request for 50 credits comes up.
Accept.
No problem. You can mark off 100 credits. He passes each of you a dice.
Player one.
Yeah.
These dice, different weight to them, and you can tell there's mechanics within them. And so, Shade, you can feel as soon as you touch it, this is like a hardened device, probably meant to not be tampered with, but not like a military-grade device by any means. But they hand you this dice, and it seems to have something that corresponds to a projector above.
Okay, so it's not that it's rigged, it's
Correct.
that it's... Okay.
As far as you know.
Do you want me to blow on your dice? Spice always had me blow on her dice.
Why?
Well, she said it was for something to do with luck. I mean, I didn't understand.
Please do not blow on the dice, as it interferes with the optical sensors.
Oh, okay. I'll just imagine that I'm blowing on them.
Are you done imagining?
Oh, yeah, no, I painted a very vivid picture in my head. Thank you.
Please roll the dice.
Oh, okay.
So we're just rolling
Roll
an
a d20.
actual d20?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
Do I? I'll let Matt go first.
We all do.
Oh, we all do?
Yeah, you all
Okay.
roll at the same time.
Nice.
15.
15. 11. So you see this hippo guy in his big hand and 3 fingers takes a tiny little dice and like kind of tosses it, and it almost clears the table before hitting. His comes up a 6, and you see this little hologram of an owl, although the beak itself comes out to like an axe shape. This is an Akaton axe-beaked owl.
Nice.
This is one of the lower rolls, and you can see all of a sudden Matt's dice, yours was an 11, comes to a stop, and it seems to almost shudder and then grows and grows and grows into a sandworm, similar to the one that you saw, and just the hologram eats this little owl. The owl just disappears. You can see this large hippo-like individual just shoves the table as if to like knock it over, but the chair just shoves backwards even under his weight, and he just goes, "Game is rigged!" and he turns around and just stomps off. Your dice was a
15.
A 15. So as you roll a 15, this dice seems to almost lift from the table, and the hologram that emerges is unlike anything that you've ever seen. Humanoid in nature, but with a long tail, these jagged spines, similar to like a stegosaurus coming out the back, although it stands on 2 legs, and the arms go down to elbows before they transition into bony hooks. And this creature grabs onto the worm with one hook, then the other, and just tears the head off. That hologram just disappears into digitalized dust, and all of a sudden your Akaton hooked horror just begins to spin, and the android goes, "Winner!" And then all of a sudden in your little communicator there's a little blip, 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 and you are 140 credits more rich.
Bubs jumps up and goes, "No, I won!" And he's gonna like give Shade a hug.
100 of it is shit. It's bad.
That was so much fun. Oh my god, I didn't think I could have fun without spice.
That's disappointing.
So tragic.
I mean, I don't know.
Bubs, you are an individual.
I know, but it's just that I have a lot on my mind, and I just think that
Are you playing again? You can see this android just as like every time you talk, it shuffles like a little bit to turn and then a little bit, and it kind of like is waiting.
yeah.
Are you putting the 100 credits in this time?
How much?
or-
How much do I have?
You have
That's his?
140.
Oh, is it a pot now? Okay.
Yeah, so there's like so imagine this. There's this like holograph up here.
Yeah.
He, because he's an android, saw like this little interface pop up. That was really just like a wireless deposit from your standpoint. But there is now a projected pot. And
Okay.
it's just like a couple of coins that you imagine gets like steadily bigger as your pot gets
Yeah.
larger. It doesn't like accurately reflect
Trying
what
to
you
kill
have.
some time until the governor comes in, so I'll do it.
Yeah, sure,
Roll
no
it.
problem.
That
Are you paying
is-
for me too? I just paid for you.
I have.
You
Yeah.
have 140 credits.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
You
yeah.
won.
I'll pay for you.
Give
Yeah.
me my money.
Yeah.
So what'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 4.
Oh, it's a 4.
Yeah, that's a 4, my guy.
Shade, as you
I
roll,
rolled a 7.
it
Oh.
bounces and then comes to a stop on the 7 face, and you see all of a sudden this
right?
dog-like creature emerge. These teeth, not
that's a
like
4.
teeth, but almost extensions of stone.
It looks like a
And you
7.
watch as it spawns with this rock in its mouth, and it just crushes it. This is an Akaton rock chewer. It was a potential encounter for all of you, actually.
Oh, nice.
Ha!
You watch as the house rolls their dice. What did you roll?
A 4.
4.
what
Very
is that?
similar to Shades. This is an axe beak owl. And you watch as Shades' Akaton Rocks Chewer pins it to the ground before tearing its head off into dust. The house rolls a natural 20.
Whoa! Let's see what
And
it
you
is.
watch as all of a sudden you see at first a flicker, almost like there was an old image that has since been replaced, and now in its place you see the face of Sitsu. In profile, the GPF rings and planets behind him, and it just spins. And you just hear, jackpot! And all of a sudden, you see the little amount on the table just double.
Wow.
For us?
Yes.
Wait, why would that work?
Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah. No.
You didn't roll that. They did.
Yeah.
Better luck next time. All of the money just disappears. They put their hand out on the table and sweep the hologram, and their hand goes through the hologram, but then like a second later, the coins pop onto the ground.
You still have 40.
Oh, don't you need 50 to play though?
As a start, you can do more than 50. Increments of 50, 100, 150, 200, 250.
We'll do one more round each.
Could I
Very
borrow
well.
10?
No.
Someone give me a better dice. Give me the chonker.
Here you go.
Oh my god. Someone just died.
I did.
What do you roll at
My
20?
soul's over there.
Fuck.
At a 14.
Get a 9.
Oh.
The Akaton Rocks Chewer pops up for you. The Hooked Horror for you pops up, hooks this little like wolf-like creature into the air before just like swiping it aside into dust. The house rolls a 16, and you see a slightly larger Akaton Hooked Horror. And there's a brief moment where there's combat, like the hook hits the hook, and they like are battling back and forth. But this one swipes the legs of yours, and it into dust. The house again, coins disappear.
Are you satisfied?
Yeah. This isn't as much fun as I thought it would be.
Many humans report the third time is the charm.
It wasn't. I'm gonna get up from the table and start leaving.
Do we see how much time has passed? Is the governor
Like,
Not a lot.
Like the same time in game.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we could probably come back in like an hour, right?
yeah.
Are you saying this out loud?
I mean, I could. No, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I'll say that out loud. Yeah, sure.
The dealer at that says, please keep in mind, all floors below the first are closed after 4 p.m.
Is that a regular occurrence?
No, there is an event. Would you like to play again?
play one more.
Okay.
They turn, they take the credits, and in this moment, as they are beginning to like pass you the dice, they say, "Do you have more questions?" They take their dice and roll it. You can roll yours as well.
Is that I'm trying to help you?
As an android, you pick up the barest hint of an inflection as if, okay, you've paid more. Do you have another question?
What is this event tonight for?
This is a private event for the governor.
How would one get to this event?
One does not get to this event. This is a private event for the governor.
Is it the governor's birthday or something?
It is the last Friday of the month.
I'm unfamiliar with the significance of the last Friday of the month.
I apologize. Would you like to play again?
Well, we just paid for another one, so...
16.
11.
15. And so you watch as their hooked horror grabs both of your animals and just dashes them apart.
We got a
16.
16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, slightly larger Akaton hooked horror. A similar battle, and this time yours comes out on top.
Nice.
They pass you over 140 credits.
So I guess one more since
Yeah.
we have 140.
All right.
Do you have any more questions?
Does the governor have a private event every Friday after?
The governor has a private event every last Friday.
Who else is with the governor at these events?
Make a diplomacy check.
I assisted anyway.
How are you going to assist?
Need to be good assistants.
I'm going to look through my cred stick as if I'm trying to like see if I can like give more money.
Bets must be placed in increments of 50. Would you like to place additional bets?
Yeah,
It's probably not worth it. So one.
He's
There's
gonna
a 1.
yeah, he's gonna put more. He's gonna put 100.
That's super diplomatic.
Yeah.
Okay. Puts 2 more dice out in your hands.
Do you need more dice?
All right, time to play the actual game because my diplomacy was bad.
It's a 1 and a 7.
Oh!
I got a 14.
14. With your Akaton hooked horror, with no problem, you decimate their simple roll of 6, an axe-beaked owl. And so you win that pot. However, they look you up and down and they say, I do not have that information, and if I did, I would not be permitted to share it. Would you like to play again?
I guess we'll let it ride until we lose.
yeah.
Okay.
That's cocked.
7 again.
3.
Ooh.
Oh, unfortunate. So this time they do win with a roll of 9. The Akaton Rock Steward taking away your pot.
So I think that's it, right? That's all the money, and
Would you like to play again? Yes, you have no money left from that pot.
yeah. I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the Oasis Casino.
Have a good day. I'm gonna get up and
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
start heading upstairs to the top floor.
Yeah.
No problem. You begin to head upstairs. to the
Assuming
top.
that there's like a bar on the first floor that we could grab a drink at, maybe, and just sort of like.
There's
Lounge.
Oh, there isn't.
Oh.
Okay.
not.
Got table service?
Yeah, you've seen drinks, so you
Okay.
imagine.
I imagine
Make
we're just gonna
perception
lounge
checks as you're walking out.
and wait around for a bit.
I got a 27.
I don't need perception.
27. Okay. With the 27, as you're looking around, kind of hanging out in the lobby for a second, the door opens, and you see another contingent of GPF soldiers walk in. Although led by a different looking individual. This is the first person that you've seen in kind of a little bit of an unregulation uniform. You've seen, somebody had mentioned it actually previously. This was an organization that is very like crisp. Everything is like new. They wear a electric blue fur of some kind. It's a cloak across their back. They wear a solid helm that covers any trace of their face. You can tell that they're female, kind of from the shape of the armor. And on their back, you can see a number of weapons, actually. But there are a few other GPF soldiers that kind of span out behind. And you see the head just kind of gesture, and a number of these soldiers head in your direction. But because it is 9 o'clock, this is where we're going to end.
Fuck, we're about to
Chose the wrong side.
But thank you for hanging out with us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. We will be back next week on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, if you cannot wait that long, you can join us for D&D tomorrow at Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Courts of Everest, Session 4. But until then, please stay safe. It is crazy out there. We'll see you next week.
It's cold out there.
Pew, pew, pew.